This is Claim the Stars. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're about to kick off our Savage Worlds sci-fi live stream. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, you can help us out today with your channel points, and you can also join us over on our Discord server. You can do that by using the chat commands, exclamation point Discord or exclamation point CP to learn how to do that. So we're going to jump into first introducing the players, and then we're going to do just a brief introduction about how the players got here and probably what their goals are now that they're here. And then we're going to jump into our story proper. So thank you for joining us, Lore Masters of there. So introduction for the players. So we're going to start with Cliff. Cliff, you can also find him over at his channel, Quest and Cliffhangers Twitch channel, where he plays D&D on Thursday nights, 8 p.m., right? Eastern?
Yes,
right?
You got it.
Cool. So, Cliff, tell us who you're playing tonight.
Sure. I am playing Aston Courtney, who is a he's complicated now. He is a silver-tongued, itchy trigger-fingered son of a rich socialite who has a alien being's consciousness in his mind, which takes over his personality from time to time and gives him the ability to use psychic powers. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You figured out a succinct way to put it now. So, I like it. So, Brennan, you're going to be next up for bat after the next person. So, be prepared for your introduction. So, Matt, go ahead with your introduction. Who are you playing today?
I am playing Arthur Haeckel. He is a young scientist and inventor, and he has recently been studying medicine, so he can help the team a little more on that front, so we don't have a doctor. Yeah, not nearly as interesting as Aston, but we'll see.
Well, I don't think role-playing characters should be defined as how interesting story-wise they might appear. But and there's something important to his background that might come up this game. We'll see. But the fact that he's sort of keeping a secret his origins. The fact that he's kind of would you define him as on the run from Palisadia, or would you say he just is trying to keep it secret that he's his origins from Palisadia?
Well, I think that's up to you, because I mean, one of his...
It's a secret. It's a secret, as opposed to an enemy.
Right.
He's not wanted in any way. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, that might come up this game.
So
might come up this game.
Right. I guess it's up to you whether it's been discovered by the wrong people or not.
That's true. Good point. GM power. Nice. I like the feeling of it.
So.
The rush of it. So, Brandon, why don't you tell us who you're playing today?
Well, today I'm playing Clint Burl. He just joined the rest of the party last week. So we're still learning a lot about Clint, but so far we know that he's on the run from somewhere in Vicanian space where he was effectively an indentured servant, which is just a fancy way of saying slave, for the Vicanians working in a shipyard. So he banded together with a small group of men, stole a ship that was scheduled to get broken down, and using a hacked SIC in the ship, managed to hijack a couple jump cannons, made it 3 jumps to the planet where he met the rest of the party. During this, they found that he's starting to get sick. Him and all of his crew, and thanks to the party taking a look at it, they discovered that there is a secret technology implanted inside him and all of the men that escaped from the Vicanians.
Very cool. Very cool. And that could be interesting down the road for them, right? Okay, so Shaun, tell them who you're playing today.
So I am playing Spencer Witt. He is formerly a stowaway on the cruise ship. He was quickly found out because he's bad at stowing away. He's been doing everything he can to make himself useful to the crew. Fortunately for the crew, he is a psychic. He's been able to pretty much put his powers to use for the crew. Unfortunately, he's on the run from a criminal organization he used to work for. As a teenager, he's now a young adult. And that his goal is to just be a part of the crew and stay as far away from civilized planets as possible.
Yeah, and who is that organization he's on the run from, actually?
Oh yes, the Tanu Klava, as I like to refer to them, Space Mafia.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, in the Space Mafia, there's also someone else we added to your backstory, actually, Mr. Black, who might come into play here in the future. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah, something to remember. So, okay, so help me out, guys. So brief events of last session. Brandon already kind of went over a lot of what happened. So you guys managed to. I'm gonna kind of jump through the last couple of sessions. So you guys rescued Alice Hanover as a kind of a last thing, of course, because you need to make sure you finished up Levi's intent, right, after his passing. You need to make sure she was safe, and you managed to get her safely back to the rest of the resistance. And then, once you were there, she informed you that with Carlton, she wanted to get back to safety. She wanted to fulfill her promise to Carlton and leave this life behind. So that was a closed book, hopefully, right? So you can put that one away. But unfortunately, with Levi's death, that meant your pilot was gone, and you were stuck on this planet unless you found another option. Fortunately, though, you ran into Clint Burl. However, with his new introduction to the rest of the group, there were a number of problems, which he already spoke about in his introduction, so I won't go into them a lot again. But you guys worked tirelessly, almost, for a while to help come up with solutions to him and his crew's ailment, really, that was kind of making them really sick. And you believe you came up with a solution, at least for now. But you've come to Belt Rider Shiv with the main goal of finding Devon a body. Now, for some of those who haven't watched us for multiple sessions, the story of Devon goes way back, and that's not even a quest I started. That is a quest that started with a critical failure on a psionics roll, on a session all the way back on episode 8, episode 9. So when a landing shuttle's power shut down, and there was a kid living inside the electrical system of the landing shuttle. So that's literally where he lived, and that's the only place he existed. So it wiped out the electrical system, supposedly killing the kid. But they managed to recover scraps of him, and Spencer feels confident that he's recovered Devon's whole being, right, in a digital essence. If you don't mind, Brandon, I think while you're not talking, if you don't mind, can you mute your mic? I'm hearing kids music or something like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's no problem. Anyways, but the story of this game goes all the way back to that point, because Spencer has worked tirelessly to try to recover him, and he's protected him all this time when they've done other stories. He's been hoping to find a body, and the other places they had went to, cloning, was illegal, and he didn't want to put him in a metallic body, right, like a cybernetic body or like a robot body. He wanted to find him an actual body, and cloning was illegal. But in this place, clones are legal. However, just getting and acquiring the sleeve or the clone body of a child isn't exactly like the normal business. So I mean, you still may have to acquire one off the black market, right? It's one thing just to be a kid or a parent of a kid and ordering a clone for your kid than it is just to be like, hey, I want to buy a clone body. And so the party have come here in hopes of acquiring one. And so they've come to Belt Rider Shiv because Clint Burl played a card last game, an adventure card, that gave them a clue to the next session. And those adventure cards make apparently can just, which I've known multiple times from the Savage Worlds campaign we've run, they can pretty much steer the whole session. So a lot of times. And this one in particular, it pretty much solved it for them. So they knew exactly where to go after that and who to talk to. So he gave them a clue about who to talk to and who might be able to help them with the body. And so the contact, the fixer who can help them find a body, is Eric McMillan. And the individuals who deal in bodies, or clone bodies here, or who the most known for it, I'll say, are the Wraith. Now, there's nothing supernatural or ridiculous about them or anything. This is the name they run under, right? They're just wolves, or pirates, or most settings call them. And they most commonly just kind of come hang out here, right, whenever they're not just out among space. And they've come here to find Eric McMillan. Hopefully he can give them information about how to get a hold of these Wraith. And so the PCs have disembarked from their docking bay, which is like the clamp docking bay, where they've met with Chester Tran, who was Aston Courtney's contact and former friend. Well, I'm sure still a friend that used to work for his company. And the PCs have all disembarked, and they're heading towards room 304, which is a hotel, the only hotel on the Shiv. So, and so that's where we will begin our story. But before we do that, however, we're going to do a short flashback for Clint Burl. So we're going to go to a scene where you are on a mess hall, right? And it's about midday, and you're in your work uniforms, Lacanian colors, which is like this silver-striped, dirty crimson, like work uniform, right? Like a mechanic's jumpsuit. And okay, you've already stripped off the exo, like the EVA suit that you normally have to wear, right, to break down a ship. Because a lot of the work you do is out in space. And you're sitting across from your compatriot, one of your fellow workers, named James. And he just looks just completely distraught. And you know why he's distraught. Just 2 days before, he lost his leg out there as one of the ships that you guys were breaking down shifted. And you saved his life, but at the cost of his leg. He doesn't know what his fate looks like, what his future is going to look like. And he just can't eat his food. He's just looking at his plate, and he's just staring at it. And you two are in the mess hall together, no one else at the table beside you. And he just has this look on his face like he's just lost. He doesn't know what's going to happen to him next.
Okay. So while he's sitting across from him, Clint just looks for a little bit, and then he just reaches out, puts his hand on his shoulder, and gives him a comforting squeeze. In the years that we've worked here, we've seen a lot of these injuries, but you know that this is not your end. It's when something like this happens, if they can't get you a decent prosthetic that you can go back to work, they ship you back home. They'll send you back to NASA where you can at least no longer have to work in this. So, I mean, it's hard, yes, but there's technology is amazing enough that you can get something that's almost as good. But don't let the director see you start slacking, even with this. You know what they do to slackers.
He says, yeah, but you know what's going to happen to me, though. If I get sent back to NASA, I'm either going to get stuck on basic, my family will get stuck on basic, or they'll give me some reject clone body. I won't even be who I was before.
No, that's not true. You're not the meat suit that you're wearing. As long as the you that's inside is intact, you are you. Doesn't matter if it's in a different body. Doesn't matter if it's without a leg. You are the same person that you were before that accident.
And you hear a voice from behind you speak up, and he says, I've just spoken with the physician, James. You guys look behind you. You see your I almost said commanding officer like it was military. He's like your shift supervisor. And he says, well, I have good news, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Turns out, the physician told me that he's expecting about 5 weeks of recovery time for your most severe injuries, and it looks like we can get a prosthetic in about 5 weeks as well. See? James?
Good. See, James, good.
It'll all work out for you.
I'm excited.
James looks like less nervous and kind of a little bit excited, and he says, and then the shift supervisor says, it'll all work out in the end. Says, and we care about safety here. And I'm glad your friend Clint was able to protect you and keep your life intact and keep you here with us. So do not worry, chap. And he puts his hand on James' shoulder. And while he steps over to put his hands on his shoulder, while he's there, though, he reaches down and grabs his plate from him. He says, unfortunately, though, you're on light duty. That means fewer rations. We're also going to be moving you to limited housing for 5 weeks. You're going to be moving to a different team. You've proven that you don't have the capability to work safely with the team you're currently with. We'll be hitting you with a different team. James looks confused and slightly nervous and kind of scared. He says, limited rations? We're barely on good enough rations as it is. He says, really? You have enough rations to work? Isn't that enough for you? Look, one day you'll be back with your family. All this work will be completed, and you can feel pride in your great endeavor. He puts his hand back on his shoulder and kind of claps his shoulder for a moment. And he says, he looks at you, Clint, and he looks at you and says, good work today.
Thank you. When does he have to report to the housing?
He has 4 days to clear out his things.
Okay. And will he be reassigned back here afterwards?
As I said, he's proven that he can't work safely with his team. He'll be given a new team to work with.
Oh, I think the day was an accident that was not his fault.
You're welcome
These
to
things happen.
you're welcome to file a report with me. That says otherwise.
I'll file another report.
Very well.
I must have missed one of the forms.
And then
Thank
he just
you.
kind of he says, thank you. And he walks away.
And as soon as his back is turned, Clint just pushes the rest of his plate across the table.
And James is so nervous he can't eat it. And then we flash back to all of you as you step out the lift. As you're passing through the halls of Belt Rider Shiv. Belt Rider Shiv is this place where nothing seems to match here. Belt Rider Shiv is unique in that it's been here so long, and it's been, I wouldn't say lawless, but it's been under very loose management so long that they don't care about aesthetic. Like all the places have different designs, and there's the water filtration system is broken, so there's rust running down the walls. There's mold in different sections. It's not very well kept. There's patches, there's whole sections of 100 feet of hallway where it used to be carpeted There's sections where it's like tile from where like a person built up a new business and then he replaced new tiling around his entrance. I mean, it's just like this mix match of design. And it's also definitely not this like representation of what you'd imagine like this great and utopian future. Right? It's definitely not fancy future, right? Um, and you're looking and you're marching through these halls, and well, I say marching, you guys are probably casually going through these halls, and everyone here is probably people who just like subsist on basic, or they're gangers, or they're like transport workers or freighter workers. I mean, they're probably none of them are what you'd call like the 1% or even like the 10%. I mean, they're definitely not. Um, and you guys will eventually, if you guys are all of you planning to go to room 304?
I
I
think
will.
that Spencer pulled me aside to go try to help him find the body at the end of last session, didn't he?
I think y'all did discuss going to find a body. I think, if that's what you're, Spencer.
Yes. No, I at least mentioned it to Aston because I was sort of hoping he would do the negotiations.
Well, why don't we just have that conversation now in character?
Right. So, where are you right now? We're just on the ship, right?
No, I just described a hallway in the middle of a.
Oh yeah, that hallway. Okay. So I just kind of like grab Aston's elbow. I'm like, hey, you mind taking the lead on this? Because I don't think any of these guys are going to listen to me.
Do you see the way they're dressed? Do you see the way I'm dressed? You think I'm going to have much better luck?
I don't think they're going to listen to let's just say adolescent. Um, Man, money talks. You and I both know that. Our billionaire friend said money's no object. He wants an F body.
Well, step one, do not tell them money is no object. Please do not tell them that.
I'm not telling him anything. I'm telling you that. Saying, let's not get shot over the price.
Well, I'm not too worried about that part. I think that out of character with this, did Eric mention the wraiths?
To Clint? No, I think just Clint knows about the wraith. He just had the clue
so no one
card.
knows yet?
Yeah, he
Okay.
just knows about the wraith, and he already knew about Eric.
Okay. And he told us about Eric as the contact, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's up
Well,
to
I
you
think the
guys
way
to
it
decide
worked-
how much information y'all know. So I'll let Clint handle that.
Well, I believe at the end of last episode, I kind of grabbed Spencer's arm and told him that I heard him saying that he was looking to, rehome a kid, and that I heard while we were making contacts with the fixer here that the Wraiths frequent this place and might be on board around this time, and that they did marketing, or that was their market, was moving clone bodies around.
Okay.
So I would say that if you want to find more information about where they're at, or the best ways to do it, go through the fixer. I mean, that's the entire reason you have a middleman, right?
Yep, I agree. All right, so let's find this Eric and see if he has any information of where around here we may be able to. I doubt we'll be able to just purchase it while we're here, but find someone that'll be able to do so. So we're gonna head off towards Eric. I don't know if you want to cut towards everybody going to the hotel or not, or to that.
We can wait on the hotel if your main goal is Eric. Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. Okay, Clint, you know that the main dive of Eric is a local casino called the Wave. It's really not this fancy place or anything. It's just a small place, but yeah. So if you want to find him, that's the place to go.
Okay. I'm not sure the best way of doing that. Perhaps I'll tell him.
You can spend a
Spencer,
penny and say that you have his comm code.
Well, I imagine we can just probably pull it off of whatever local data net there is, but it's nothing I really have in my possession. So Clint, Spencer, do you have any way of connecting and just searching like a local directory for Eric? I know he frequents the Wave, apparently,
Yeah, you
or
could use
directions.
you could use the PDD and search the local network. Yeah, sure.
I mean, if nothing else, the Wave should be fairly easy to find. It doesn't look like they're hiding the casinos.
No. Yeah, you can get on the what do you call it, the Shiv's just information network if you want to. Sure.
All right, Spencer, that's all you.
Is that just a computer roll or?
It would if you're doing it legitimately, it's just an electronics roll with an appropriate device. Just to search for something.
Can I help him with my research skill? It's
Yes.
for looking
research,
things up on the
research
internet.
would probably actually be more appropriate actually for something really deep and hidden. Yeah, either one is fine with me. I'm good with it. Actually, actually, this would probably be actually really hard to find, so research is appropriate. So make a.
Does
Make
Spencer have research?
Does
I do
Spencer
not,
have the
no.
research skill? Yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
so someone with
Probably just letting you do it.
you can do it untrained, or you can let Arthur do it, but it would be research skill, and it would be at a -2 to find him.
Arthur does have research. All right, so I guess Arthur will go ahead and research, and
Damn.
he found it.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally it takes quite a while to research something, right? So I would normally say in this situation, hey guys, what are you guys doing while he's on his PDD tapping away, that kind of stuff. But it just happens pretty quick because he just knows how to look for these kind of things, right? So he starts looking for clear signs, clear indicators, right? So he starts looking for through market request, looking on trading markets. For some reason, we'll say that Arthur knows what chemicals are part of the cloning process because he has the science skill, right? So Arthur knows what chemicals are part of the cloning process. So Arthur starts looking up markets and who's done trades recently on marketplaces with those chemicals. And he starts digging into marketplaces and that kind of stuff. And then he finds out that people who've been brokering these trades recently, and he comes up with the name Eric McMillan. And this finds him some individual who's been part of these trades, and before you know it, you end up with a comm code in your hands through multiple avenues, and you just dig and dig and dig, and then you get a comm code in your hands for Eric McMillan.
I think I found a lead, guys.
All right, well, let's go ahead and give him a call and see. Let's see how cheery he is today. So I'm just gonna call him. I'm just gonna cold call.
He's gonna be very surprised when someone calls him cold, because he's the kind of person that's like, why am I on Google?
but it's Google.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Nice. Okay. So you contact him. He says, "Hello."
Mr. McMillan, you don't know me, but we have mutual connections, and I was told that you're the person to speak to for anything we may need on Belt Rider's Shiv.
Who are these mutual connections?
Well, see, you know as well as I do that these mutual connections don't like to be name dropped. But if you want, we can meet in person and discuss this. That way, we don't have to worry about anybody listening in on this call. Really?
It's still a success. Even if I applied a -2, it would still be a success. Thank you for joining us, Bruno QC. He says, I only deal in public places. Wow, thank you, Ramides. Robin, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it so much. He says, I only meet in public places, especially with people who I don't know. So,
That's
meet me at
perfectly
the
fine with
wave.
me.
I'll be there as soon
Sounds
as,
good.
are you on the Shiv?
I'm on the Shiv.
This doesn't smell right.
Yeah, I assure you there's nothing wrong about it. What's your game of choice?
We're just going to drink.
Even better. I'll be at the bar. You'll know me when you see me.
And he hangs up. Thank you so much for redeeming the card, Bruno. So that's going to go to Brandon. So Brandon, you're going to get a extra adventure card. So the way it works is when someone gets a new card, that basically gives them more cards to choose from. So when they use adventure cards, so it gives them more ammo to F up my game, essentially. Gives them more tools at their disposal to steer the story in really cool and interesting ways. So you get some crazy zany stuff. So you can spend them on raises, which basically allow them to bump successes to raises and do more awesome stuff. And you can spend them on bennies as well. Bennies allow them to do rerolls. So both are really great things. It's just a really cool way of getting you guys invested and joining in on the story. So, okay, so all of you are, I'm assuming all of you, unless some of you are also going to the hotel, I'm assuming all of you are going to the wave, correct?
I think so. But first, Cliff.
Yeah.
Would it be better if you talk to Eric alone while the rest of us are catching a drink a few tables away? Or should we just be standing there with you while you do these negotiations?
Well,
How do you think we should do this?
he seems overly suspicious. So talking alone would probably be better, but I assume that he's going to assume that I have people there regardless. So if you want, you guys take a seat, blend in a little bit, and then I'll take Spencer with me.
Okay.
I guess we can hang out like one table or two tables up or something.
Well, we can go sit directly at the bar and they can grab a table. I feel that they'll probably be able to blend a little bit better than I will.
All right. Well, Arthur, let's go get drunk while they're buying a kid.
Don't say that.
He just got pulled off YouTube. No, I'm just kidding.
This is a party map too.
It didn't even load for me, and I'm the GM on my.
I got loaded like right up
Yeah.
for me.
I got it.
That's weird. Hold on. Maybe it'll fix now. Why is it not working with me? That's so weird. I can't see it on my alternate screen.
Did you make changes to it and then load it again after that one already loaded?
I don't think so.
Because I've had issues with that, like with maps. If you, like with me creating them, if I've loaded it in Fantasy Grounds and I make a change to it and then save over that file with the same name, it just grays out the whole time. You can't.
Well, I can load it on mine, but I just can't see it on my secondary map. My secondary screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's weird. That is so weird.
If you want, go into your,
I'll just
your
try
map
this. Hold on.
folder.
Yeah, I can always just put it on the screen that way, but then I couldn't see
Well, I
the
was gonna say,
characters.
go into your map folder and just copy paste it in there, and then try loading, Casino 1. Sometimes just changing it to the, a new file, tricking it that way works.
Good point. Okay.
This is a pretty map, though.
But I'll have to remask it though and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the use of a lot of the colors that it has and the lighting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you already guys are describing it for chat. Like,
Yeah, a bit. I was, I don't know, the bathroom. I was expecting a little more futuristic potties, I guess. But
Nah, you just shit right there next to everybody else.
hey, it's space. Aren't they supposed to just like attach a vacuum tube to
That's
your rear
funny.
or something? And
well, maybe
So
it'll
what is
work this time. Let's see if it works this time. I may have to just do a quick masking.
hey, you say that angry, but look, in space, it's really hard to reach those dingleberries.
I mean, bidets of the future have to be pretty on point.
So does anybody have any good adventure cards to mess up Shane's night?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see them, so you might as well talk about them. Or maybe you're thinking, maybe she won't look.
I have one if we get into combat and I take damage that I can shrug the damage off to somebody else, friend or foe. That's fun.
There we go.
Sounds like a dick move.
And then I have one that will double all support rolls for a round. So we can meta and everybody just support one character doing something and have them get like a plus 30.
Okay.
Nice. So I actually came across a pretty interesting card here today.
Made fun of my
Desperate,
bathrooms. Now you can't see my bathrooms. Nope.
Desperate
I made too much fun of them.
any one adventure card from the discard pile. So
Oh, geez.
has like a really cool card that they play. If I understand it correctly, we just play it again.
So when Cliff shoves off the 30 points of damage he takes onto you, you just play that and shove it back to him? Is that
Yes, and then it's done.
all right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't play it on Spencer.
I like so.
So I'm
So
gonna
it's kind of
put.
one of the,
Oh, sorry. Oh crap. That's too big.
and it's just one of those ones. Unfortunately, like I have to wait for somebody to do something cool, and hope we can replicate it.
put a grid out there. We're ready to go, guys. Okay.
All right.
I think that's roughly the right size. Okay, so we're good to go, everybody. Okay, so you see a casino. You step into the front doors of the Wave, right? And it is. I mean, this is kind of the feeling you're getting from the entire place, right? Is like this inconsistent themes as far as looks and appearance of the whole place. This like look that is kind of run down, and everything is kind of. But this place, it looks like they have money, right? Obviously, there's ambient lighting in the place. They actually have like shrubbery, and when you step in through the antechamber or entryway, you see a. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. You see a floor that's full of games of all different kinds, like roulette and card games of different kinds, and you see the area is lit with like all different brilliant hues of like purple ambient lighting, and you see up above you, you see like games like played from mostly the Vicanian systems, and you see like some locally run in like Felici, but not many, to be honest, because just Felici doesn't have that many games. But mostly Vicanian network, Vicanian systems. So, and here is your card. Okay, and you see over there by the bar, you see Eric McMillan seated over there. Down over here. And there's crowds of people just playing at the tables and that sort of stuff. And so you guys just kind of entered in, and we're not really using the map really for like any combat or anything. Just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. So, all right. So, what do you guys do?
So, are there any open seats at the bar? And is he looking towards the door?
No, he's not looking towards the door. So,
Okay.
And yes, there are open seats.
Okay. Then I'm gonna tell everybody, like, you guys, I guess, go sit at the gaming table. There's got to be a I don't even know what would be the smallest you could bet in one of these.
It's kind of a dive place. So they have tables that have like low bets, right?
Yeah, go sit at one of the penny slots, and
They don't have
Well,
slot
Clint,
machines. It's all like this is like a table like place, right? This is like a bar with like card games, roulette tables, that kind of stuff. So this
It's like
isn't
the
catering
blackjack
to like
table.
grandmothers who want to play slot machines.
So, Clint, I'll just kind of lightly slap Arthur on the front of the shoulder and say, all right, let's head over to that table down below us, and I'll tell you about the real Vicanian games. This are not the real ones. We'll curl
Sure,
our hair in
sounds
your
good.
chest.
Like I pretty much am like, hey, Aston's got
Oh, there's
this under
slots down there. Oh, never mind. It is slots. I couldn't even tell what they were on the map. Well, there you go. I stand corrected. There are slot machines.
I'm thinking Aston's pretty much got this under control because I'm like, hey, we've got quite the credit limit. So it's free drinks while you're gambling, right?
I'm sure it is. It's a casino
Nice.
to an extent. All right.
Shit. Well, that kind of ruins my opening line here.
He's at the bar.
I'm gonna walk up next to him, and I'm gonna order a whiskey, and then I'm gonna sit down, and not even looking at him, just looking straight. Say, well, this place is charming.
So you're looking straight ahead, and you're not even kind of like really noticing him, really per se. You're not trying to make eye contact with him.
Yep.
Cool. And he says, well, that's not really its purpose.
Well, the whiskey's good. Sure, the games are fine. What other kind of vices does this place offer?
Well, I offer plenty of those myself. If it's illegal, I offer it.
Yeah. That's what I heard, and I am glad to hear that because we are looking to get a hold of someone who may be able to purvey a clone body for us. But we have some special requests.
Special request, but that voice tears me up. Special requests cost extra.
That I absolutely assumed. I wouldn't have brought it up if I didn't think that it was worth noting. But I appreciate you being upfront about that.
Explain to me, though, why Vicanians need bodies.
Well, we need one because there was an incident, and a friend of one of my companions was all but killed. And we need to be able to essentially transfer his consciousness onto this clone. It's more of a personal memento than anything.
So he puts his drink down and looks at you now at this point. And then he says, that's a strange request.
I agree, but if you had a loved one that you lost and you had a chance to do this for them, it would seem much less strange than it does to anybody looking at it on the surface.
I hate it when people mention loved ones. That's when the bodies get strange. What kind do you need? Goes back to drinking his beer.
A nod to the bartender, give him an additional drink, get me another whiskey.
He says, all right, you're coming your way.
Well, this loved one was a child.
And that's it?
It was strange enough for me. But yes, so what we're gonna need is another child's body to be able to put this consciousness into. I don't think that emotionally he would be able to handle being jettisoned into a 30-year-old man's body.
Yeah, it happens more often than you think. And yes, it's difficult to deal with.
So, if at all possible, we would like to prevent further trauma from happening. This is already a monumental ordeal that we're going through. And that just seems like the icing on the shit cake that we just don't need.
He kind of starts thinking to himself, and then he grabs that drink that the bartender slides to the table to him, and he starts chugging it back. And then we slide back over to the other players. So Clint and Arthur, right now you guys are over at it looks like digital machines of some kind over there, right?
Okay.
And what is your goal over there? Just to kind of blend in while you're playing them, or are you trying to listen to what they're talking about, or what?
I'm mostly just kind of keeping an eye on them, and I'm just talking about some of the experiences I had back in the Vacania. And it's just so what they do when you didn't meet your quota, they take all the underperformers, and they put them all in your spacesuits, and they send you out. And they had this big old heavy slug thrower that they ripped off a capital ship, and they put a couple blanks in there, and they fired each one, and they take bets on who's going to get hit, and that's Vacanian roulette.
Interesting. Sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, I don't know what these games are. I've never saw any of those. I've heard of them, but that's not what they really play.
Hmm.
They prefer their games messy.
Sounds like the kind of people I ran away from. Like,
I'm
I
disconnected.
have gambling at D6, so I'm going to go hit the tables, ladies. I'll catch up with you guys later.
Okay, so we see Spencer slip away. What tables are you going to, little man?
It's maybe a little young to be
The
addicted.
ladies
to
at roulette.
In the middle? Yeah, that's pretty much the roulette, I think. It's like space roulette, I'm assuming, based on the different table.
Doing it.
Just ignore that. But yeah, sure. That could be roulette if you want it to be. You gonna go over the roulette tables? All right. So you go over roulette, but you said you were going to try to stay nearby, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to lose sight of Aston or any of the crew, but this is kind of the first chance I've had to get off the ship in a while.
So you're gonna actually
Stretch my
gamble?
leg. Oh yeah, get
Okay.
a couple drinks, you know.
Cool. So what we'll do is at the end of the night, whoever is gambling, we'll just make a gambling roll. See how well you guys did.
Okay.
Okay? So you're gambling right now at the roulette tables. And Arthur and Clint are over there at the digital games over there. And you got kind of this little half wall kind of between you and the games below you. And you can see that they're down there on the lower level, but it's difficult for you to hear the conversations below. If you want to hear what they're talking about, you'll have to get closer or make really high notice rolls at a penalty. But from here, you can't make out a lot. But you can see crowds of people and stuff like that down below, gambling and stuff like that. You are over here, though, at these machines by yourself. There's no one over here besides you. It's just really what's making it difficult for you to hear is the games themselves that you're at and stuff like that are making a lot of noise, and then just the crowds of people. Now, if either of you look back or anything, and want to survey what's going on, just let me know, okay?
Well, I will pretty much keeping my eyes on them, making sure that it doesn't get hostile. I don't really care as much what they say, so I'm just having my conversation and just kind of keep an eye on, particularly Eric or any men he may have in the surrounding area, in case they try to pull something.
Cool. All right, what about Arthur? Are you just enjoying the gambling or what?
I don't think he's even playing. He's more just keeping an eye on the situation.
Okay. All right. For Arthur in particular, I want you to make a notice roll. This is not to hear, but to see something in the crowd. Make a notice roll at a -2. You still made it. Good deal. So -2, you see over at a table. If I can get the shapes. Over at this table over here. And actually, there's probably some over here. you see there are some Dracotech personnel in some mechanics jumpsuits, and some of them are in officers. Well, one or two were in officers' uniforms.
Arthur will definitely not physically point them out, but he'll point them out to Clint.
Okay, so Clint, yeah, he points them out like he calls them out to you.
Okay. And he just casually lets his gaze slip over. Does he notice anything else? Or is it pretty much the same thing?
If you make a notice roll, you can maybe discern more if you want to.
Okay. Let me. Was there a penalty for this one?
It's a -2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make out the Dracotech people just because he pointed them out to you, but you can't see any more details that are relevant.
Okay. So I'll just keep on talking. I'm just kind of looking back and forth, trying to
Okay.
be not the first one that gets shot when Ella goes to bloodshed.
All right. Okay. All right. So we go back to Aston real quick, and maybe Spencer is over there playing roulette right around the time Aston starts divulging the information about needing a child body or a kid body, and he starts chugging the beer back, and then he drops it on the table. Eric does, and he says, "Well, a kid's body isn't that difficult to provide. If you want specifics, then of course it can be more difficult. But we can make it happen. However, the supply is usually limited. Around here, unfortunately, most of the bodies usually come from one source. And that's the Wraith. Do you know who they are?"
No, I can't say I've heard of them.
Well, I'm just going to put it bluntly. They're some crazy sons of bitches. There's nothing stable about them. I think it's all that time floating out in space on their own. Rumors are they've been stranded out in space for 8-9 months at a time without no one to save them. Hell, I don't know how they got by. Ship of their size, even it doesn't have enough food to get you by for that long. But I don't know how they made it. But they're here now. Or maybe it was all just rumors. But they're crazy as hell. Twitchy,
Do they?
strange, but
do they come through?
they deliver on the bodies.
That's all that I'm concerned with. And as far as specificities go, a male body would be the only thing. Again, just so we can try to mitigate from trying to have to explain all of this craziness. The rest, I wasn't gonna. I didn't assume this was gonna be like a Build-A-Bear, and I could tell you everything that I wanted, and I would get it. So,
Well, people, when they pay this much for a body, they usually get exactly what they ask for. So, trust me, it's not cheap. So, is there an age range that you desire? How old was the boy when he died?
he was 11.
I'll do my best. Look,
Thank
it's
you.
not cheap. And he pulls out a scrap of paper, writes a number down on it, slides it across the table. It ends up being around 100,000 credits.
That's a spicy wealth roll. That's fine. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna look at it. Fold the paper up. Just put 2 fingers on it. And What's the typical time frame for delivery?
If they're here on planet, if they're here on base, and they have the supply with them, turnaround could be just hours.
All right. And do I send the money through you, or do I send it to them directly?
I usually put you in contact with them, and you deal directly with them after that.
All right. Well, this number is agreeable.
All right? Then he finishes his beer, and he gets up and leaves.
All right. And I'm going to kind of, through my peripheral, just turn slightly and watch him leave. Do
You
I
turn
notice
and
the Draco
watch
tech?
him leave, and you do see the Draco tech. Actually, no, because with the -2, you do not. Yeah, that'd be a
Okay.
3. The crowds.
Do I see Spencer, Arthur, or Clint?
Yes, you see all of them. I'm assuming you were to look, because y'all all parted at the same time and went to your places. Spencer's like
Okay.
10 feet. I mean, like 20 feet from you. So.
Yeah, well, I'm going to walk over to him first, seeing how he's drinking and gambling.
Yeah.
What? What? I thought you were going to be my wingman over there.
Oh, I didn't think you needed one. The contribution is letting you know you had a ton of money. I figured you could make it work.
Well, yeah, but how are you ever going to learn the game yourself?
Didn't know I was apprenticing.
You
Would you
failed
like
your
to
first
learn?
test. What are you drinking?
Just asked the waitress, I'm like, what is this? I know I said Macallan 18.
She did
I
card
don't
you. This
think
is not
that's
that kind of place. So you got whatever drink you asked for.
Yeah. I'm like, she didn't do it. I think the bartender screwed me. I gotta be honest.
Well, be more assertive. Finish up your game. I'm gonna go meet up with everybody else. The number that he quoted me was 100,000 credits for this body.
Ain't cheap.
So I think you may have to make a phone call over so we can get this arranged. Because I already greenlit it. I'm gonna pat him on the back. Have fun. I'm gonna walk away and start heading back over to them.
So how do I go about making a phone call?
Okay, so there's one of two ways. If you have a comm link on you, you can connect to the ship, and the ship can try to send it. However, the ship's network only reaches one astronomical unit.
Right.
Anthony Wright is definitely not within one astronomical unit. So you'll have to connect to another network to jump it to a jump cannon.
Okay.
So you will have to connect to a network and say, hey, will you send me $100,000 to buy a body? Or just say, hey, send me $100,000. I'm all joking aside about the send me to buy a
It's going to
body.
be extremely
But,
big.
yeah.
Yes, I do have a comm link.
But no, yeah.
And-
So he said he'd pay for the purchase. So.
Yeah, I'm just as vague as I can. I was like, hey, about that thing we were talking about, it's going to be 100. No.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Fucking Spencer, we could easily got like 300K out of that and then pocketed 200 of it. He'd have never even fucking questioned it. Too late now.
It's going gonna be 200K. It's just the weirdest thing.
So while you guys are, so you walk over there, Aston, and when you get over there, what happens over there? You get over there, and Arthur and Clint are over there, and they've just been kind of watching the scene play out.
Well, he can make it happen. He said that he's gonna put us in contact with a group called the Wraiths or something. And apparently they're the go-to crew for bodies. I don't know. This is all a little bit out of my purview of normal business transactions.
Well, you got this.
Well,
So,
let's
like I
just
was
hope.
saying, like I took apart one of these ships, and they got hit with this big blast right in the weapons compartment. And I swear, the head of one of these guys got lodged into one of the guns, which caused a backfire on the entire system, and it wiped out the entire crew. I get to so many fun things. It's kind of gross. Yeah.
You gotta make sure those valves are clean so they don't get stuck and stop that sort of thing.
So Arthur, you feel a tap on your shoulder at this moment.
Oh, Arthur looks at who's tapping on his shoulder.
So a woman has appeared behind you, and she must have walked up after Aston started a conversation with you all, and she's I guess she's on the shorter side, about 4 or 5 inches shorter than you, and she's got black hair, and she's got the GM can't remember. She's got a streak of, I think, purple in her hair, and she's got kind of like these dim freckles on her cheeks, and you recognize her. Her name is Jules Leibowitz, and you recognize her as having been employed as a mechanic from your hex at Palisadia.
Hello, Jules. It's great to see you. How have you been?
She says, "Good, good. How have you been?"
Also good. I found some other work off station, of course. Been
Really?
interesting. A lot of different things.
Are you no longer with Dracotech? She looks at you up and down, and you're wearing an Astra Unum jumpsuit, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, she says, working in the charity sector now?
Yeah. I thought I'd try it, and yeah, they're good people. I've got a good crew. I see you're still working for Dracotech.
Of course. Well, that's where I'm a citizen.
Mm-hmm,
As are you, right?
Well,
As she
don't
says that, I'm
remember.
like, oh, hey, Arthur, who's your friend?
Oh, hey, this is Jules. We knew each other back on Palisadia. She's a
She kind of
mechanic.
holds her hand out to offer it to Cliff. Sorry, Aston.
No, I'll grab it gently and put another hand behind my back and give a slight bow to her.
He goes, "Wow, a gentleman." She says, "Well, it's wonderful to meet you, Aston." She says, "It's just been so long since I've seen you. I mean, that was terrible news about your family."
Yeah. Yes. It was. How are things back home? I really haven't heard a whole lot since I left.
Well, your mother, who was considered invaluable for her efforts, has been restored to her former position. Your father,
Oh.
however, still is in custody. They've essentially proven that he was behind everything. So, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible, but And your sister, have you heard from your sister? Like, no one's heard from her either. Well, I'm assuming you have, right?
Well, we kind of split ways, like very early on. So I assume she's doing her own thing somewhere else. I really can't say.
Oh. Oh, okay.
You know, it's funny. I didn't even know Arthur had parents. I thought he was developed in a test tube.
Spencer's a little drunk at this point, so I'm like, your dad's in jail?
Yeah, he did some bad things back home that
He
he shouldn't
kill
have.
somebody?
Not kill anyone, no. Um, is the case still ongoing? Have they come to a conclusion? Of all the evidence out now?
Well, he's currently under trial right now.
Oh, okay.
So, but he didn't get bail. So, giving the mounting evidence against him. So,
Okay.
What are the Draco Tech legal system like protocols? Like, is it a fair trial or is it more like kind of like Draco Tech is judge, jury, executioners?
she says, "Well, I'm not an expert on our legal system, so I'm not going to pretend to be very knowledgeable about those kind of things. I'm just a lowly mechanic." She says, "But anyways, it's been wonderful speaking to you. So I'm glad we got a chance to meet."
Yeah. What are you doing out here right now? I mean, I see some of your, I guess some of your companions out there over there, your crew.
Well, we're stationed on a Dracotech vessel. We came out here to do emergency repairs on a
Oh.
Dracotech dreadnought, actually. So, and it's we had to stop here though on the way though to refuel. So, but
Mm.
but anyways, I won't bother you and your friends much longer. So,
Oh, well, it's really great to catch up with you. Glad things are going well. And thank you for the update on my family. It's communication has not been great, or at all, actually.
yeah. Hey, you know what? I'll
So I
leave you my
appreciate it.
com code if you want it, and maybe we can, catch up sometime.
Oh,
catch up
sure,
sometime?
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's great. And so she kind of like passes it on to you, like just kind of swipes and it like appears in your device. And she says, "All right, bye."
Bye.
And she just kind of like parts ways. Make a persuasion roll at a. I'm gonna try to decide if there's a penalty here. I'm gonna give you a. Is it a minor secret or is it a major secret?
It's minor. I would have made it major if I could, but
Well,
rules.
that's not pertinent now.
And just out of curiosity,
Minor?
throughout
I
this,
got a minus
was
2.
Arthur was Arthur kind of noticeably on edge with this conversation, or is completely relaxed and just surprised to see somebody he used to know?
He's probably at least a little bit on edge because he's not sure who knows what. And
Okay.
if she's trustworthy, if she's just there on a friendly mission. Yeah. Okay, so -2.
Yep.
However, I have a card that lets me get a +2 to persuasion.
Really? Nice. Okay.
All right.
Dresses up for the night. Nice. So you were in like a specially dapper Astra Unum like jumpsuit. Like you were
The freshly
nice.
pressed one.
Like
It's the one
he
where
cleaned
he cleaned
up
off
his
the
hair.
belly
He
stains.
combed his hair. He shaved
Nice.
once, you know.
Just walked in.
All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna Benny that. Okay.
Okay. All right. she left, you feel confident you've convinced her.
Not.
Don't you love it when the
That
GM gives
girl's
don't you
confident.
love it when the GM gives you an open-ended response?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So, Clint is kind of keeping an eye on her because she's going to walk back to the Dracotech, and if they have any type of interaction that may get looks back towards us, he's kind of keeping an eye out for that. And he's also, while doing that, just kind of asking Arthur, so is this anything that we need to worry about?
Probably not. I mean, I hope not.
Your
Dracotech
confidence
is not
overwhelming.
keen on. Dracotech is not keen on people leaving their corporation.
You
And
could tell me people are
my
like that.
my parents were pretty involved with some shady dealings that Dracotech was doing, but they took the fall for it, and I don't know. I don't know if Dracotech is going to want to inquire of me about anything, shall we say.
So
I've been trying to keep a low profile.
Well, should we take the drunk Oompa Loompa here and get back to the ship where it's safer?
I'm fine with that. Are we done here?
hypothetical question. Arthur, how hard would it be to create an explosive device to take out a Dracotech ship? Hypothetically speaking.
Well, I think a
Is this where you want
dreadnought
to
is
have this hypothetical conversation?
pretty
Almost have it right
big.
here. No, Arthur, come back.
Did he tap out on us?
Yeah, I think so.
No, Arthur, no.
Why is he just staring at me? Answer me, damn it.
Yeah, it
Answer
does
me.
look like he's staring at you. And now it looks like he's longingly contemplating the future.
I know he closed his eyes. Now he's thinking about it. How long is it going to take? He's doing the calculations in
That's
his head.
right. He's going into, what is that?
So why do we want to blow up a Dracotech ship?
Well,
because
Okay,
Aston
I'm back.
has gone full kill mode. He's like,
Well,
fuck
because-
this. No, I'm just playing.
So, because someone from Dracotech fucking sent them to where we were, they shot the ship, they ended up getting Levi killed, and I'm just a little bit pissed about it.
They did target our ship specifically, so that does concern me.
And I'm thinking that if they manage to get communication back out to their HQ about Arthur, that it could be even worse.
Well,
And I think that if I just walk over there and start shooting, it's going to be a bigger problem for all of us. So,
Well, we for a ship that size, and the GM
not the
can.
Dreadnought, theirs.
Oh, well, that's probably not too difficult.
Hypothetically.
I'd want to make it look like an accident. Incompetence on their part would be perfect.
Yeah, but a good way to do that would be like to plant an explosive on a drive or to somehow overload like a drive. Essentially, like an engine malfunction is like the best way or the fastest way to make an explosion look like an accident. However, if you do it inside the hangar or while it's attached to an umbilical of the shiv, you could blow up half the shiv. So, just... Yeah,
Well, no, I
because
was thinking,
the
some
ships
sort
are
of a
attached
proximity.
Yeah, okay. So if you can manage to do it while it's out in space, great. But if you did it while it was attached to the ship, because like most ships are run on nuclear fusion drives, so.
all right. I'm not saying this would be the best way of doing it, but if you were intent on eliminating it, you have access to a private dock where somebody could go out in an EVA suit, hugging the hull and make their way onto the drive, or wherever would be the best place to put it, to plant whatever.
That would be fun.
Okay, so it sounds like we have a plan.
On the other hand,
Mm-mm.
would it be better to try to figure out a way of getting the information as to who sent the Dracotech ship? Because it's probably not the people that are on this one.
Well, no, I'm working on that aspect. This is a second problem that has welcomed its way into my life.
But may have information on its computers or connections.
We can extract anything that you want as long as we quell this flame.
Yeah, I just want to get the thing in my head taken care of and move on.
Our ship also has some damage. Our landing gear is non-functional, and one of the engines has surface damage. It's not bad, but could be an issue in the future. Just throwing that out there.
Well, so aren't they supposed to be working on that while we're here? Wasn't that part of the whole thing, or no?
Yeah, you assigned Chester Tran to do it, right? Or asked him
That's
to?
what I thought.
Did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming you asked him to.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought we discussed that last time. So we're at least putting that in motion.
Okay. I didn't remember that.
And secondly, Arthur,
Real
what
quick,
is the legal
Boffrin did
system?
mention an idea, just removing like a drive cover or something like that while they're here. I mean, it has catastrophic effects, right? Like it might not like mean they'll die, but like just like leaving it unprotected when they go out into space could lead to a dangerous accident, right? Like they may not do a
Right.
proper inspection before they leave, and if they left and they go out into space and like space debris hits it, it's a
Right.
neat idea. So
Aston, that's way beyond Aston. Aston's a smart guy when it comes to like book smarts and like scholarly smarts, but when it comes to like mechanics, tech, things like that, nah, that's not his thing. He does know how to shoot a gun though. And he is vengeful. And his friend was just killed by Dracotech. So one way or another, these people are gonna die, or he's gonna die trying to kill them. So I just figured bringing that up to the group of like letting you all be accomplices to this murder would be the best way to handle it.
Well, I think there's another question too before you ask Arthur to do this. Is it seemed like he knew at least one person on that ship. Is it a problem that needs eliminated?
Knew what?
So I said
My internet
Arthur,
is really intermittent right now.
if you want to disconnect
Sorry.
real quick and come back, maybe it'll fix it, Arthur.
Can't understand.
Matt, you want to do that?
maybe he already did.
It's really- All right, let's.
Maybe he'll come back in a second, everybody. We're not on break. We're just giving him a second to sort it out.
I don't know if that's going to clear it up, but
Sounds
okay.
good
So
now.
you were saying Arthur knew what? Yeah, seems fine.
Well, I was asking, Arthur, you obviously know somebody that's on that ship. Is that a
Yes,
problem
I'm
that
not.
needs taken care of, or
I'm
you
not.
otherwise good with it, or what?
I would prefer not to kill people because they are not the ones who are evil. It is the corporation that is evil. But they are willfully going along with what the corporation says. And I escaped, which means others can escape too, if they choose to. But
And a
I would
very
rather
caring-
disable their ship in space. I don't know, wipe their hard drives, something like that.
Well, if they're going to repair a dreadnought, that could be a further attack. That could be the ship that was hit.
Would Arthur know whether this ship is going to dock with the dreadnought? Is the dreadnought that big?
You didn't
I know
get
you
that
gave
many.
us.
You didn't get that many answers from her, so she just said, "We're going to repair a dreadnought."
Okay.
So
Because
maybe you need to go meet her again. if you want
I
to get
do
more
have her
answers.
com code.
And you
So-
do have +2 to persuasion
For all-
rolls for the rest of the scene.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
over
so
there
I
at
guess-
she's over at the table in the casino. And for all you know, that dreadnought could be going to, because Dragotech don't like Vicania. I mean, historically speaking. So maybe they could be taking it to Vicania, or maybe they could be fighting some other mega corporation, right?
Right.
So
Because theoretically, I mean, right now Arthur's thinking, if it does go to dock, we could essentially rig this smaller ship to be a time bomb and potentially take out the dreadnought. But we'll see. I'm really nervous about going to talk to her, though. I mean,
Let's have a
Arthur,
drink.
get a
I
drink.
guess I am. I'm all dressed up. A drink. What should I do?
Spencer's very conflicted about this because I want revenge, but I also don't want to screw this up. And then it's like, well, there goes the body, and we're
Well, I've got a great idea. How about this? How about Arthur takes Spencer as his wingman and he goes talks to the mechanic? It'll be fun.
I second that idea. I'm just going to plop down in a chair, facing them, completely obvious, legs spread, drink in hand, and I'm just going to start sipping.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to need a drink. Any suggestions?
whatever I'm drinking is terrible. So don't get this.
Their whiskey shit, too.
all right, let me find the. So you guys are going over to the table. Okay, let me get Eric left, so let me pull his token off the table. So you guys went and grabbed drinks, and then you guys are going over there to the bar to talk to them. Okay, cool. Sorry, going over that table to talk to them, right?
Yes.
Sweet. Don't get scared, everybody. Okay? I built this as an encounter just in case it turned into a conflict. It's just easier for me to actually move it into Combat Tracker and then put it in. As you can see, they're rated as neutral. I didn't actually plan to start a fight. I just thought it was a possibility.
What?
What?
Remember, Cliff's not a murder hobo. He has reasons.
I do. I'm not a murder hobo. I just have a very limited skill of resolution.
He's very direct.
And nobody has told me that my ways
That
don't
murder's
work.
bad.
That murder's bad.
See,
Nice.
this is one thing that I share with Aston is that I don't believe that is 100% true.
Oh.
Well, Aston hasn't murdered anyone who wasn't already trying to kill him. So, at least not that I recall.
Not yet. But we could be heading that way.
I think that is everybody. Yep, okay. So you guys head over to the table up there. And let me make that bigger for people in the audience watching, so they can see it. Yeah. Okay, so Arthur is going over there. And Spencer, you said, are you going with him, Spencer?
Unless he wants me to.
I wouldn't mind your backup. I'm not very good
Okay.
with girls. I don't know if you are, but you seem like you probably are better with girls than I am.
You're
I've had
inebriated,
enough
right?
to drink. No, I've had enough to drink, so I'm awesome.
And he can also read her mind, right? So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up and see if there's some kind of inebriated condition.
Hold on. Did Arthur say that with an earshot?
Oh no, that would have been before we walked over.
Oh, okay. So you said that in earshot of us, I mean.
Yes,
I don't care
yeah.
about them, I mean
I don't
us.
know.
Okay.
I like him walking over there going, I'm no good with girls.
That's perfect. Perfect. If I can hear that, I'm just going to lean over to Clint like, this is going to be grade A entertainment.
Oh, I'm excited.
So, I'm just gonna give you the
You know what?
distracted
I think
condition.
I'm gonna
No,
wander
actually,
over
so
there
I'm
and
gonna
see if
give
I can
you
listen to
the.
this.
I'm gonna give you the. I'm gonna create a new condition called inebriated. I'm just gonna create it real quick. How do you spell inebriated? Oh, whatever. I'll just call it drunk. I'm just gonna call it drunk.
INEBRIATED.
You were too slow. I'm just gonna call it drunk. All right, trait
how you
spell
minus
inebriated.
1. Oh well. All right, so Shaun is drunk. I wonder if it gave him to him. Yep, you're drunk. All right. -1 trait rolls. I'll add like intoxicated, like to -2, like completely intoxicated, like hammered. We'll call it hammered later. All right.
Okay.
Now, so Arthur, you come over to the table and they're playing cards over there. And so, what do you do when you approach? They don't see you approaching as you get over the table, and you just kind of come up behind her.
He is going to kind of like
She doesn't.
Clear
She
his
doesn't
throat.
hear you because of the music and that she's playing cards. And one of the guys, like on the far side of the table, sees you approach, and just kind of like half smiles on the other side of the table, and he says, "I'm gonna raise you," and he just throws the cred chip down the table.
Arthur is kind of gonna get up next to her and tap her on the shoulder. Then, hey, Jules.
And she turns and says, "Oh, hey, Arthur."
Hey, how much longer is the card game going? I thought I've got some time. We could catch up a little more.
She says, "You know what? We just started a new hand. I'll cash out right here. And you want to have drinks?"
Sure.
Who's your little friend?
Oh, this is Spencer. He's one of my crew, although he's been drinking a bit.
Drinking.
I mean, at a casino, I know. So surprising.
Well, no, he looks like he's. How old is he?
Well, this is space. Are there
Oh.
rules on this station about that?
Oh, no, I don't think there are.
Time
I guess I'm so used to how things.
distance. Yeah. Like I'm 18.
You could have fooled me.
At least.
She says, "I always forget things were different on Palisadia." Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go to the bar. Have some drinks.
Great.
Unless you want to go somewhere else.
Well, I only just arrived here. I don't know where else there would be.
Can we hear any of
I
this
mean,
over comms?
If y'all have your comms
yeah,
open, I guess.
Yeah, he might have open comms just in case you guys want to like be a little bird in his ear.
I'm going to say, we have a hotel room.
It's a little much.
No, it's not. She's being forward. You be forward.
Arthur will offer to buy her a drink.
She says, "That sounds great. I'd love that." And so she goes over to the bar.
Just tell her you want to play hide the contraband in the spacesuit.
Don't do that.
Just I kind of stand there and I'm like, get on the comms. I'm like, Aston,
Just stands
here.
Hey,
Kind of stand there.
Spencer, get off these comms. You're gonna make us miss something.
No, I don't want this to be awkward.
Well, go with them.
And then you when you
Don't
say
say that
that,
like a
Spencer, when you say that, you hear and you look to your side, and there's a big, tall Dracotech man in a rigid jumpsuit, and he says, "Kid, it already is, man."
Aston's gonna stand up.
Like, uh-huh.
He says, "I think you probably should just take a hike, dude. I think your friends want to drink alone."
Okay. I guess I'll just gamble somewhere.
Hey, you can take a seat with us and gamble if you want. We're looking for someone to take over, and there's a seat empty.
Okay. What's the worst that could happen?
He throws his arm over your shoulder and guides you over the table.
You're our point man. Get information.
Like, cool. What are we playing?
It's just like a form of like cards, like poker or something like that.
I know how to play cards.
Sure. Okay. Okay, sweet. So you sit down with them to play cards, and okay, so we'll go to Arthur real quick, and thank you, Lady Wraith DM. That's a perfect name fitting for this session. Thank you for following. Appreciate it so much. So Arthur, back over to you real quick. So you're over there at the bar with her. So you're now sit together, and you've had drinks slide over there to you, and now you're both drinking together. She says, "So, what brought you over there to me?"
Well, I mean, I have some time to kill, and yeah, it's been a while. And I mean, you remember I was very into all the science type of stuff. So I was thinking, maybe you've come across some cool tech lately, or Dracotech has developed something new that's coming to market, or I don't know.
Chop talk? Is that all it was?
Well, I mean,
Tell her
maybe
it's good to see a familiar face.
It's good to see a familiar face.
She says, "It definitely was good to see you again." She says, "Yeah."
It doesn't have to be the last time you see her.
She says, "Yeah, it's definitely. They've definitely made some improvements. We're definitely working, staying busy. They've had a couple of new hexes. And we're definitely nowhere near, of course, finishing that Dyson sphere that they've always wanted to finish around Palisadia. But I mean, getting closer every day, right? So,
of course,
I still don't understand why they ever wanted to finish that instead of doing, a terraforming project. But that's just Dracotech. They're always willing to just push further, do the ridiculous things, even if it just sounded crazy. Everyone else is out there terraforming, and Dracotech higher up say, "Let's build a Dyson sphere around a planet." I mean, but
I mean, you build a Dyson sphere, then you've got essentially infinite energy to put towards terraforming. It's an investment. Could work.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure they didn't think at all about the technological potential, but anyway, so yeah, I mean, we're getting closer and closer every day, and plus the fact that these things can just up and move, right, like flotillas or arc vessels. I mean, it's just amazing. So yeah, I've been working on Hex 49, and then they moved me off on this project. I don't know why, but so that's
How
what
long
I'm
have you
doing
been
now.
on? How long have you been on this project?
Just started it 2 months ago, so I've been just doing long haul repair work. So
Oh, yeah, that could be kind of rough. You've got a decent crew.
yeah, they're just a bit more thuggish than I like. So, but yeah, like this dreadnought I'm going after right now, it's apparently trying to aim to go after like outer rim colonies of Icanian space. So
Interesting. I don't know if you can share what you're going to be working on there. I mean, is it anything cool?
well, we're just supposed to get it back up to snuff. It took some pretty good damage, and
Oh,
yeah,
like here in this system? What's been happening here?
I don't know exactly what it took damage from, but it took damage, and but we're going to have to make repairs on it. It wasn't on this system. We just had to stop here for fuel, but in the next system over is actually
Okay.
where we're So
I see.
yeah, and no, it had nothing to do with that big explosion. I heard about that Vicanian ship though that it just exploded over. What was it? Khaleesi? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's why I was wondering if the dreadnought was part of that, or yeah.
No, I heard there's nothing
But I
left of
guess
that
not.
ship. I heard it's completely gone.
Oh, wow. That's what did it get hit with, or did it explode? Engine failure?
That's what I heard. Engine malfunctions.
Reactor?
How did you guess?
I mean, if you said it's just gone, I don't know what sort of weapons could do that.
Make a persuasion roll. You got a +2, so you made it.
Okay.
Actually, this should be a persuade proposed with notice.
Oh.
Because she's actively distrusting at that statement.
Ooh, what's the timing?
She says, "It's a strange leap, though, isn't it, Arthur? I mean, you leapt straight to engine malfunction."
Well, it's either a malfunction. What other kind of malfunction would create that sort of explosion? That's my thought. It's either engine malfunction or they were attacked. And I mean, I don't know what could just completely wipe out a vessel like that. So I assume engine.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, there is a resistance in this sector.
Are they that big a threat? I mean,
I don't know.
I guess you've just been here. So
Ask
Yeah.
her if we need to be worried.
should we be? Oh, she doesn't know.
I'll let that one slide, even though you started to say it in character. I'll let that one slide.
I know.
She says,
Flying to comms out loud.
she says, well, how about this? Let's stop shop talk for a minute and let's just drink. Let's enjoy each other for a minute. All right?
Sure.
And so y'all throw back some drinks and we'll skip over to Spencer. So Spencer, we'll say y'all are about 2 hands in by this point. So we're gonna stick to what's interesting, right? Not boring stuff. Do you have anything, like, if you're wanting to get anything out of them, now's the time. Like, we'll say that you've maybe established a bit of a, like, rapport with them. Actually, let's make a persuasion roll to see if you have established rapport.
Okay.
Does he get a bonus if he loses lots of money?
Yeah, you would get a bonus if you lost lots of money, yes.
So you want me to make a gambling roll?
If you want to say you've lost money, you don't have to make a roll. You can intentionally lose.
Okay. Well, we're only 2 hands into this, so I'm sure that's not a lot of money. I'll just lose
Yeah.
them.
Okay. All right, so you
All
want to
these
say you
guys
took a
see it.
dive on 2 hands?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
easy enough.
All right, so you took a hand dive. I'll give you a +2 bonus on this persuasion roll.
My persuasion has a -2 on it. I don't know why.
Because you had the hot iron and whiskey.
Oh, that should be gone by
that's
now, right?
right.
It lasts 30 days.
Oh, does it? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Not
sure
that
you
I
want to
know
lose
from
those 2
experience.
hands? Yeah, you need to actually lose those 2 hands.
You
That's
know,
+2, yeah.
I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. Okay. So you take a dive on the first 2 hands. All right.
+2.
All right. So make the modifier roll at a +2.
Oh, yes. Perfect. I'm going to throw
Throw Benny
a
at
Benny that.
using a Benny. Oh, by the way, I
think
forgot.
can...
Arthur used a Benny earlier too, didn't you?
Yes.
Can't help the chat if I don't get the fucking Bennies right. Sorry, everybody.
Here we are.
There we go.
Much
All right.
better. Much better.
Okay.
Okay.
How many raises do we have banked?
We have
2?
3 raises.
3? Okay.
Okay, so right now you have them in your favor. Essentially, that means they move from neutral to good towards you. So now they're jovial with you. One of them has bought you a drink by the time the second hand just finished, and they're open to discussion, right?
Okay.
And one of them slaps you on the shoulder, that kind of thing like that. So if you got any kind of like discussion you want to throw at them, like if you want to get any information from them, now's the time. So we'll slide into first person role play right now if you've got any kind of conversation like that you want to do.
Yeah. So I'm like, what are you guys doing out here, man? Like, we're just here getting some landing gear fixed. You guys, what are you doing out here? You look all official.
Well, we got 2 jobs actually out here. So our first job is an easy one. We're just here escorting these mechanics to go find a dreadnought.
I've got all this, like,
Okay.
freelance.
This is so and the second job is a strange one. So we got told when we got here that we're supposed to meet another Dracotech vessel. And they're sending out a weird SIC code. So we're thinking that they're not on one of our ships. So we're just picking up some of our slackers here that lost their ship. So we're going to give them shit about that when we pick them up, huh, guys?
Lost it.
Lost it. We haven't got the details yet, of course. It was just a transmission, but I think it's probably hilarious. I'm sure there's a good story behind that.
Yeah, my boss would have been pissed if I'd have lost a ship.
Your balls, how old are you, man? You probably haven't held down a job yet.
Yeah, if anybody asks for purposes of this conversation, I am 18.
He says, yeah. All right, well, don't worry about that here. From what I understand, this place does not give a crap about that kind of thing. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, I haven't been carded once. It's great.
Well, remember that. We plan to come back to the ship.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice place. Well, it's nice as far as the drinking and the opportunities. But man, does it stink and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there is a stench.
So out of character, Spencer, does it seem like you want to ask anything else?
I'll ask him, so, like, what other kind of things can I get up to here?
Well, you're the ripe young age for joining a gang, from what I understand. So, and there's lots of them around here.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of getting stabbed or shot, so I'll probably just stick to washing dishes on the ship.
Okay. All right. I've been hearing too the mayor he says he's not interested in getting shot or stabbed. Man, shut up. It's like, well, whatever. But I hear the mayor he sends his like potential bodyguards and stuff off to this like training facility like a really young age, and gets them like martial arts trained and like weapons trained at like a really young age. It's a pretty crazy story, but so
I could be like a ninja.
pretty much, yeah, it's pretty crazy. They even got like ninja names. What are they called again? They're called the Blades.
Oh. Oh. Keep that in mind. Pretty cool. Just keep like playing a couple of hands with them. You know, just let that sink in for a little while.
Are we gonna play poker or what, guys? Geez, stop talking.
Oh, yeah, okay. Focus. This time actually try to win.
Of course. Okay. Now, so Arthur, do you have any more like things you want to try to like get out of her, information wise?
Or get into her?
We're not gonna role play. He can still do that, but we're not gonna role play that.
I think he would.
Because this is me over
Say-
here.
No, we're not going to go there. But I think he would attempt to find out how long she's going to be here. Thus, when they're leaving, I'd say something along like, "I think I'm going to be here at least a few days. When are you leaving? Can we hang out again sometime?"
She says, we have some minor repairs to do, and then we got to refuel. So, I think we're leaving in the morning. So, maybe the afternoon. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be here long. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, sorry.
Room.
It sucks. Yeah. But if you want to see me again, I'm going to be at the 304. I ponied up
That's
for
the
I ponied up
hotel.
for a hotel. Yeah. I got tired of staying on
nice.
that stuffy ship with all those guys for one night. So
Does it have a pool by any chance?
it does. It does.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I haven't gone swimming in quite some time.
Yeah, some of those pools at Palisadia were so nice, weren't they?
Yeah.
Man, I miss it sometimes. Anyways,
Ditto.
yeah, sure. Come find me over there.
Great. Well, it was
Anyways,
really great meeting you again.
yeah, sure. And she just kind of like, when she gets up to leave, she just kind of like comes in close for a side hug. And like she just kind of like steps away and like walks back away. Love the chat during this. And it could have gotten worse. So she turns and leaves.
Are we hearing that over the comms?
Mm-hmm.
Arthur, go pump her for more information.
Hey, is Robin still here? Nope. Okay. Well, it could. I would have said it anyways. It still couldn't have been worse than the time that I had to role play using Daddy. All right, the entire time.
That was so fun.
There she is.
What Shane's trying to say is that he's already
Give
used
Arthur
the
girl
class.
She's like, that's awesome. It was awesome. It was hilarious, but it was so weird.
So, just to make sure I have everything straight now. So now that Arthur has a romantic love interest, we're going to use him to blow up her ship with her on it.
Yes. Yep.
Is that Cliff's plan here?
The plan is she won't be on the ship when it blows up.
Yep. See, no, that's not the plan.
That's what Arthur's going to try to pull off.
See, that's bad because then you're leaving a loose end and a witness. They can put you here.
Well, I think we could time it so once it jumps over to the other system, which they're leaving in the morning, and hopefully dock with the dreadnought, then it will blow. And take most
Okay.
of the dreadnought with it.
Okay, I like it. I'm waiting for the butt, though.
I mean, there are a lot of variables there.
Yeah, but that's like your thing, isn't it?
Yes, but not. I mean, if they run into a meteorite storm or something, asteroid, it could damage their ship. They go slower. Well, then they blow up before getting to the dreadnought. That is that sort of thing.
Okay. I'm waiting for the butt when it comes to your friend, though.
Well, I mean, she's okay, but I'm probably never going to see her again.
Not if you blow her
I mean,
up.
well, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, I'm more. I don't want her to die, not so much because I'm romantically interested in her, but because she's a person. Yes, she works for Dracotech, but that doesn't mean she's necessarily evil. She's just working for someone who's evil.
Levi was a person, too.
Yes, he was. Why are we bringing Levi into this?
Because
Oh,
they're
because
the
they.
catalyst.
Hmm.
And she was probing you for information about your family and about your sister. I don't feel the conversation was as benign as she played it off to be. So
Maybe she was just interested.
Maybe, or maybe as soon as she gets on that dreadnought, she's going to be able to relay that information that, oh yeah, by the way, I seen Arthur on the show.
Aston makes a very good point. That was really hard and awkward to listen to. She might have had an ulterior motive to sit through that.
You could be right there.
I mean, I know I got a little tech boner when you guys were talking specs, but other than that, I'm pretty sure there was some ulterior motive there.
Hmm.
But like
Said I-
Spencer stumbles in while you guys are like sitting around the table talking. I'm just like, hey, these guys invited me to this like pool party at the 304. They said something about ladies. Can I go to that?
Is he really asking our permission?
He's over at
I
the.
don't know.
I'll be back by 10 o'clock, mister. Or
So
are
that's-
you asking if, say, somebody like Aston will go with you and be your wingman in there? With all the Dracotech people.
I don't know. I have a feeling Aston will cock block me. I need
I don't think you need my help for that.
you guys sucks. Okay, well, Arthur, I know you can't talk to chicks, so
What do you mean? Didn't you just hear that whole conversation?
did.
No,
It
you
was
told him to get
painful.
off the comms.
No, it was painful. I lost a lot of money because I couldn't concentrate. I thought I was gonna have to bite down on something. It was so painful.
You're gambling your own money, right?
I don't know.
God damn it.
Did you learn anything useful while you were over there?
Yeah.
Did somebody get some information out of all the people they talked to?
Yeah. Are you guys listening?
I was focusing more on the Arthur thing. It's not every day you get a soapbox in your ear like that. Soap opera, rather.
To be fair, there were long periods of laughing where I didn't hear what was going on.
Do you want to roll your wealth die to see whoever participated in wealth gambling tonight? I need you to make gambling rolls. Who participated in gambling, or who were just at machines pretending?
I was just drinking.
Clint didn't do any gambling. He was just mostly talking and watching.
Same.
Okay,
Arthur did not either.
okay, so just Shaun, just Spencer, and he was inebriated, which gives him a penalty.
Oh, shit. For my gambling roll?
and you take a -1 on top of the fact that you lost the first 2 hands. So that gives you a penalty. So you're going to take a total of -2.
It'll bake that -1 automatically in there though. For you being drunk.
I totally have like no chance of doing this.
If the value penalty of the stakes is at least.
Oh, so close. Your wild die cock blocked you. That'd have been your gambling die. You'd have exploded.
Okay, hold on.
Well, while he's looking that up, Aston, so when are we supposed to meet with Eric and do all that?
He said he would be in contact with me once he gets everything arranged. He's going to get me in touch with someone from the Wraith, and we'll handle the transaction directly with them. Do you know anything about these people?
Not much. Let me...
You already rolled yours. Sorry, that was.
Well, wait till Shane's ready, but apparently I do know a little bit of something about them.
I just filled everybody.
You just went down a wealth die.
Did?
Yep.
Okay. I fill everybody in on I found out. They're going after it.
And then
Clint, you were trying to find information on what again? Sorry, I was doing.
Sorry, I had that side conversation with Aston asking about the race and everything. He asked me what I knew about them. So
on the Wraith.
On the Wraiths, yes. Yeah.
I thought we had a common knowledge roll with you in the Wraith last session.
Maybe I don't really remember.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you. I think what we talked about was you got a raise last session, but I think we figured out. I think you figured out that. I don't think you'll get any more information on this other than the fact that
they're just wild.
You confirm. Well, no, you'll confirm the rumors about the rumors about them getting stranded in space for long periods of time in their past, like long periods of time. You're confident that they're true, like way too long for it to be possible, right?
So they're cannibals or worse,
and they still survived somehow, and so it's either not true or it's really weirdly suspicious. And everything that other things he said about them being crazy or twitchy or whatever, I mean, you're pretty confident in that information being accurate.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to do? I think Spencer wants to go to this party. I don't know if there's any more information you can pull out for the guys there.
Just for my own humor, how many women were at that table with him?
With Spencer or?
Yeah, with Spencer.
The other crewmate was a woman. Mm-hmm. But all three of the two tough guys. Sorry, one of the crewmates was a woman, and the other two toughs, like the guys in rigid jumpsuits and like looked like soldiers, and one of the other crewmen, like the mechanics, was a man.
Because Spencer was hyping out there's gonna be a bunch of girls at this pool party, and there's one other girl.
I think they're It's, I don't know.
I mean, that's fair.
Sucks.
Look,
I'm gonna
if
fail.
Spencer wants to go to a sausage party, he has to learn the hard way.
Hopefully
It's
not too
part of
hard.
growing up.
Man, it's not the first time I've been to a party that sucked. I can just leave.
Okay.
No, I want to
Well,
in case I get mugged or something.
all right. So, what are we doing then?
What time of day is it? Because you referenced morning for when the Dracotech
Yeah,
ship
so
is
if you look
leaving.
down at your comm link or watch if you're wearing one, it's like 10 p.m.
Okay. Well, if we're going to do something, we have to do it tonight.
All right, so if y'all are intent on doing something to the ship and a bunch of these Dracotech guys are supposed to be guarding it, can Spencer do something where he disables them or lulls them to sleep or does something? Well, you
Are you guys still
science
talking
shit on the
openly in
roof
the middle of a casino?
Mm-hmm.
very
Okay, all right.
quietly
Okay.
with all the
All right.
machines in the corner.
Okay, so you
Yeah, I
guys
assumed it
went
was
over
noisy
to a
enough that-
corner. Okay, they're
Yeah.
not talking like this. Gotcha.
All right, well, I mean, me and Master in the corner. Just,
There. Arthur
Gotcha.
joined you.
I'm gonna flag down one of the waitresses for some coffee for Spencer.
Okay. Sorry, Brandon. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's okay. I would just
It was just
So-
pertinent to what I want to have happen next. So
if you're going to be doing whatever we're gonna do, Spencer can go and keep them occupied. Arthur can science things out, and I guess Aston and I can continue making terrible life choices.
Yeah.
Do we know what sort of security might be at the docking, I don't know, ports or platforms?
You used to work for him. Don't you have some insight into what kind of security, details they bring?
Well, for the ship, surely. I'm just wondering about the station itself. I mean, can we fly the drone or pilot the drone extravehicularly over to their ship and hack it with the drone?
oh yeah, I mean definitely.
do they have-
You still have one drone left, right? Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, you could definitely like pop it out of your ship and fly it over there for sure. But as far as like what kind of security the Shiv has, I mean, yeah, you don't know that. I mean, because you docked in the dock of a shipping company, so you don't know what kind of
Right.
security the Shiv's normal spaceports have, right? That's a contract dock. They handle their own personal security.
Right. Could Arthur research that? Would he be able to research such a thing?
Probably. I mean, I would probably say probably not. You'd probably have to go there.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, probably all you'd get on their web, like their network, is like, we have secure docks for your docking needs and that kind of shit.
Right.
You know, like that bullshit, like elevator pitch type stuff to make you feel
Right.
better about docking there, which doesn't tell you anything.
Like, this seems like a really great place.
Yeah, and then when you get there, you're like, fuck, the Shiv is terrible.
Lock
Yeah.
the ship. Bloop, bloop.
Yeah, pretty much. But you guys are welcome to go to the spaceport and like check things out. I say the spaceport, like the lower decks are where the umbilicals are, and just kind of like walk around and see how things look.
So, Arthur,
Yes.
while you're at this pool party, you could try to persuade her to take you onto the ship when everybody is off of it at the party. And that's your in.
I could. It did occur to me that if there are going to be a lot of Draco Tech people there, more people might recognize me, and I don't know if that's really going to be a good thing. I'd rather the fewer people, the better. Know I'm here. Specifically, Draco Tech people.
That's fair.
But I mean, I do have her comm codes, so I could give her a call.
You want to give a call to, you said Jules?
I mean, is this? Do we think this is the best idea? I really like the idea of just hacking from the outside with the drone.
If you can pull it off, then that's sure. But this is the only drone we have left. So if something goes sour with it, we have no drone.
This is true.
Well, look, there's one thing to keep in mind, though. Is if most of these Draco Tech guys are at the party, she's off the boat, staying in a hotel room, they're going to have a skeleton crew in all likelihood. Most of them are on R&R before they're deploying off to this next mission. So numbers are low. It means it's much more likely you can probably sneak something through.
Right. The other thing is I'm not good at hacking. If hacking is needed. And I don't think I can really rig the engine to do anything if I'm occupied with her.
No, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Well, how about this? How about the minister just buys a bunch of hookers for his new friends and dips out, and we all go handle this together.
I have a feeling I can keep everybody occupied for a while. If I can get as many people away from that ship.
All right. Well, let's do something then. All I know is that I have a feeling that if this ship reunites with the Dreadnought, that it's not good for Arthur.
Well, and I still want to know how or why they seemingly specifically targeted our ship on the planet. On
Me too.
Felici.
And as soon as the captain or general or whatever ranking resistance member gets in contact with me, we might hopefully have that information.
Okay, so what's the plan? Which avenue you want to take?
That's a good question.
Well, this is your guys' thing, so
Well, it's your thing too, now.
yes, Clint's vote still, it doesn't matter. He's ready to go. But he's y'all have helped him out, so he's willing to back your play when it comes down to it. He understands that you hate what happened to your friends, and so he gets it. But ultimately, it's not Clint's vendetta.
Oh no, you're just guilty by association is what I was inferring.
Mhm.
If we go down for murder, you go down for murder too. You were drinking with us.
It's like you were accessory. They were sitting in the room together drinking.
Well, why don't we head down to the spaceport and see what sort of security there is? Because if there's not much, could theoretically disable, cameras or whatnot, walk on board, deal with things, and leave.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
But if anybody sees us, we're kind of screwed.
Sweet.
Well, there's
Okay.
still the EVA route. Toss on a spaceship, walk down the hole, and board from the outside. Presumably, there's less eyes, and this thing's so beat up that there may not be as much in the way of observation out there.
And I can hack from the outside. Because I know these Dracotech ships. I've done it before. Did it on the planet, actually. With
Well,
the
you
drone.
can always also get Spencer to assist you, so. Yeah. Okay. All right, so all of you go down to the lower levels, lower decks, and start heading that way. And you see a scene play out before you as you're heading that way. You see the doors of a business whoosh open as what you're imagining is the business owner being drug out by these. What are you imagining are probably the thugs that work for the mayor, based on kind of the gear they're wearing and the equipment they're carrying, and they're head to toe in security armor, like high quality security armor, and they're being drug out by him. And one of them is actually dragging him out via an electro whip wrapped around him. And whenever he starts resisting too much, he sends a shock of the electro whip down him. And he just kind of convulses. And you see a puddle on the ground where the business owner pissed himself as he started getting drug away. And he's being drug out the door. And he says, "You can't pay up, you get evicted, you know the rules." And as soon as they get him drug out the door, they started beating him. And they lift him off the ground and they throw some manacles on him. And these two guys just lift him off the ground, and he can barely stand, but they force him to anyways. And these guys are covered head to toe in armor, helmets and everything, black with kind of blue glow in various places. And one of them has a riot staff. The other one has an electro whip and other kinds of like weapons and such on them as well. And they're both like just marching through the hall towards you guys because they need to get past you. Of course, this place, the Shiv used to be a ship, so the halls are narrow. And so they just kind of just push both of you out of the way. I'm sorry, all of you out of the way, if you guys don't make yourselves out of their way in time.
Oh, Clint does not make himself out of the way. Clint makes himself very much in the way.
Okay. He says, "Out of the way."
I don't know what he did, but if he couldn't pay, that's no reason to be treated like that. You take him off the ship, that's one thing, but you don't treat a man like that.
You gonna pay his debt?
What's his debt?
They look at each other. Both of them kind of chuckle. 2 months back pay. 2,000 credits. That is a wealth roll at a -2. Sorry, -3.
Trying to get a read on these guys with an 11. Does it look like they're telling the truth about what the price is, or does it look like they're trying to fucking, pad it a little bit for their own pockets?
It's honestly it's a possibility they could be padding it, But it's really hard to tell because they have full face helms and full face armor. I mean, you're only reading mannerisms and body language. Does that make sense? You're not even reading facial mannerism.
Can we? I'll kind of intervene a little bit. Can we settle a partial debt to at least get him treated like a human being?
Pay me 1 month now and keep his facility till the end of the week.
I'm gonna look down at the guy. Do you have the ability to either pay up or get out in that week?
He looks at you and says, he kind of tries to stand. He says, I've got 500 credits. And then as he tries to stand, the other guys put their boot back down on his ass and push him back to the ground. He says, 500 credits. You boys, so excited to play Robin Hood.
Take your boot off of him. Well, that don't
You
work
come up
out
with
very well.
500
Anyway,
credits. You come up with
I'm gonna do
500
that.
credits. I'll take the boot off. He says, you know what? He says, as a gesture, he pulls the electrical whip off of him. The boot stays, though, however. He's no longer being shocked by the electrical whip. He says, he said it. He's got 500 credits. You give me another 500. You're
I'll
buying
give you
this man
500.
another week.
Oh, there's a minus to it. I didn't put in. Sorry. Is this still a -3?
Well, it'd be
So-
a -1 because we're only doing the 1 month instead of 2.
So,
Okay,
Clint,
then
you're
I-
helping him. You're helping. You're
Yeah, I mean,
helping-
if Aston's willing to put into it, I'll help. Otherwise, I would do my best to cover myself.
I'll help
you're,
too.
so you were assisting.
I will also assist. Spencer doesn't like to see people like this getting taken advantage of by.
Okay. All right.
We're up 1. Come on, let's do it.
Glad somebody has
Hey.
money.
So you're up 2
Still
now.
need more. Oops. All right.
So if you get a
Arthur will
raise
also
here,
assist.
Aston doesn't lose any wealth.
There
Sweet.
it is.
Look at that. None of you lost any wealth.
Perfect.
All right. So you guys pony up 500 credits. Just look at that. You did your good deed for the day. Says collect yourself. Get off the ground. And they both leave. He says, thank you so much for helping me. I don't know what I would have done.
They seem like the type they're about to take you to the airlock to evict you. So,
Well, I would have been sent to basic housing, and then I would have been forced out of the shift. So, and that would have meant Felici. So, I would have. It wouldn't have been a good life, that's for sure. But thank you. Basic's not easy to live on if you know anything about Icanian systems. So, it's very, very basic. But thank you.
So, my hand crackling with energy, I'm going to touch him and heal up any superficial wounds he has.
He says, "Oh, that feels good. That feels great. I feel much better." However, I'm
What's your
quite
name?
embarrassed. Can we go back in my store?
By all means. What's your name?
Wallace.
Wallace. I'm Aston. This is Clint. This is Spencer. This is Arthur.
Pleasure. Don't slip on the, as you enter. And the door whooshes open, and you see before you like just like a parts supply store of some kind. He says, "I'm sorry, it's such a mess. And look, I don't know when I'll be able to get your 500 credits. To be honest, I need to be focused on finding the other 1,000 credits by next week, or else I'm just gonna be in the same predicament again next week. So, to be honest, I probably should just be finding a way to get off this planet or off this station. So,
No.
did we lose
lost-
somebody?
We lost Shaun.
There we go. He's back.
Shaun. When you say parts, would it be like parts to repair landing gear on a ship type of a store?
Maybe. Sure. If you want it to be, Aston.
Well, I'm just asking what kind of parts we're talking about here, because if so, we might be able to help him at least pay that 1 month off.
Seems specific. Why don't you
Maybe
spend
also
a Benny roll? Why don't you spend a Benny and make a declaration?
I was really hoping that you were just going to confirm that. I thought we needed to use that Benny.
While you're doing it, I know you were talking earlier about that you're down to just one
Well,
more
what-
drone. And could
Sorry,
also
I
see
was-
about restocking your pieces.
Let me actually take away. Sorry, real quick. I'll just take away his Benny he spent. People in the chat also, don't forget you can give channel points to help the players for raises, bennies, and that sort of stuff.
Okay. You take another one off for me. I'm down to 1.
Oh, down to 1.
Mm-hmm. This is a parts store that would be able to supply the parts needed for us
This
to fix
is
our...
the part store that supplies that has all the parts that you need to fix your ship with a Benny spend.
Okay. So after we calm down Arthur's boner, we need to get things ready for... We're in a parts store that's going to be able to repair everything that he needs?
Everything on the ship, it's going to have it because you spent a Benny.
An extra drone too.
Well, that's just... I'm in on the repair work. Let's calm down now. All right.
So look at this drone in the window. Why has someone bought this yet?
Yeah. He may have the drone. But you still have to. A drone is well worth more than 1,000 credits. So.
Well, right, but how much is his life worth?
That's a wonderful argument to have with someone. However, a drone is worth like the same amount of a car, or maybe. So, what was it? We looked it up one day. How much like a missile cost? What was it, like 50,000 credits? And you guys like fired like 4 missiles in like one fight. And you guys were like, missiles away! And like later on, we figured out you fired $200,000 worth of missiles.
Boffrin just
Aston.
gave Aston a Benny.
Aston, nice. Thank you for giving Aston the Benny. Appreciate it.
Gonna need it, I'm sure.
By the way, after this episode, I'm going to go to the Fantasy Girls College chat and answer any questions that anybody's got for Savage Worlds related questions. So,
Okay.
And so while we're talking about that, actually, at the end of this game, me and Brandon were talking about he was going to do a giveaway at the end of the session. He kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't quite ready for a giveaway. I haven't set up giveaways in Stream Elements yet. But what I'm going to do, I was planning on doing this anyways, is for people who stick around to the end, I'm going to drop a bunch of gift subs. We'll do a giveaway in the next session. So, if I can get it ready by then, hopefully. So,
Sorry, I got a little excited.
yeah.
Sorry.
Gotta run that stuff by me, man. I moved to Stream Elements recently. I haven't set up giveaways yet for it. So,
Okay.
But anyways, so people who stick around towards the end, I'll do gift subs. But anyways, so you guys are there, and you guys see, Arthur, you see on the shelf the parts you need to get the ship finished. You see the landing gear components you need. You see the parts you need on the engine that you need to get fully up to snuff. You see everything you need there.
Excellent. I'll take that, and that.
He says, what now?
assume we're paying, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna send a message over to Chester, who was organizing everything to get the landing gear repaired, and
Right.
basically make sure that this is the store he purchases everything from.
He's not. He gets his products in bulk from a different provider. Bulk shipments.
Not today.
Good deal. Good deal. Spencer, at this moment, your comm link goes off.
Oh,
You look down at it, and you suddenly have $100,000, 100,000 credits added to your account.
yeah. Like, I guess I'm not going to this party. Fuck. All right.
You got lots of money there for hookers and blow. What are you talking about?
I know. I like look at the guy that we just saved. I'm like, you got any swim trunks?
It's like I don't really sell swim trunks. I have mechanics jumpsuits though.
You swim in those?
I mean, you can swim in anything. Or nothing.
And I just kind of like show my phone past him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Don't put that away. Don't show anybody that.
Put it off. Like,
Still illegal on many planets.
Arthur, do what you need to do. And I'm gonna pull Spencer to the side, like, that is the exact amount we need. If you spend any of that, we don't have enough to do what we need to do. And we're dealing with crazy schizophrenic space
cannibals.
goblins. I don't know what the fuck they are. They have a weird preceding reputation, but we will die if you spend any of that.
Okay, will you hold on to it?
So you
That's
transfer
fine.
the money, the 100,000 credits to Aston.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not going to be negotiating with anybody. I'm like, just we need to fix it.
Okay. Transfer it to me. I will keep it safe. You go to your party and have fun.
Okay. You suddenly have 100,000 credits.
Not the first time.
Okay, so yeah, so Arthur, he says, if you guys want to help me with my problem, with the with me and my business, I can just give you the parts.
How would we be helping you then? Don't you just need money?
No. I'll just be in the same predicament again next month, or the month after that. See, business is drying up from me. I need to leave the shiv. Or at least solve my problem with the shipments.
What's happening with your shipments?
Well, a lot of my parts are getting stolen.
By whom? Wolves?
Well, I wish it was something so dramatic. Just local gangers here on the shiv.
And there are four in our crew. How do you have ideas of how we could help you with your shipments?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the four of you are willing to stare down the blades. I mean, you're obviously brave. And you look well armed.
Well, I guess if you want to give us any information you have.
And let me just.
I mean,
take
you
a
could
wild
always just
guess
help
that
me get off the shiv.
The blades don't. They don't police any of these gangs from doing that.
They don't see it as their duty to protect and serve. they're really more of the mayor's personal guard, if anything. Sometimes enforcers.
And the mayor doesn't see it beneficial that the businesses within his settlement to be able to pay. Seems like it'd be more profitable for him to keep you here and to keep you in business than to throw you out of airlock one time and then be out completely.
I don't know. It's just not the way he's usually run business here. I mean, most of the money on the Shiv is made through illicit dealings. So.
I'm just gonna shoot a stare over at Clint.
You want to go kill some bangers for a working ship and maybe a combat drone?
I've killed worse for less.
He says, if you do kill the gangers, I mean, I could throw in the drone.
Oh, now that you said that we have no other choice. Look at his face. He looks like a kid right now.
How big are these gangs?
Since you spent a penny on it, actually, Aston, you know something else on the shelf. You see a power armored helmet. The one thing you're missing from your armored bot is a helmet.
Just kind of elbow Arthur and point towards it.
Hey, missing piece.
If we do anything, you got to throw that in too.
Sure. I mean, but if a few dead gangers isn't going to stop my problem if I'm throwing in a powered armor helmet and a drone.
I mean, let's be honest. You're not using the power helmet or the drone to solve your own problems. So this is definitely one step closer. We can do our part, but you still have to do your part.
But if you can take out the whole gang, my problem goes away permanently.
How big is this whole gang?
15? 20?
Oh, was that all? Well, why did you say that? We can just, 5 each? What the fuck are you talking about? You want us to go kill 20 people on a whim?
Look, the drone's probably worth 40,000 credits. I just can't get anyone to buy it. And the powered armor is probably worth at least half that, just the helmet.
Yeah, and guess what? If we wait here until you get thrown off a fucking airlock, we can just take it for free.
Fine, okay. I gave you... look, I could just get a ride out of here.
Okay. And then we could just take that shit for free then, too. We want to help you, but we have to have negotiable terms. And that powered helmet is going to help us with being able to take out this gang that you want us to take out.
Make a persuasion roll. You got bonuses, but you're basically thugging him.
I'm not thugging him. I'm being real. This motherfucker's asking me to kill 20 people, and he's like, I don't know if I can part with this helmet that's got an inch of dust on it.
Alright,
Helping us helps him.
Try to hustle me, motherfucker.
Hustling. Okay, so he says, fine, look, I have no leverage over you here. You have all the cards. So fine, take what you want.
Okay. We don't want to
take the whole store, why don't you? I might as well just get on the next passenger shuttle out of here.
Okay, calm down. We don't want to bleed you dry. We just want to make sure that the cards are stacked in our favor for this endeavor that we are going to do for you, our dear friend Wallace, that we've known for 5 minutes.
I'm sure, too. We can make sure he hits at least enough.
No, but I will be out of everything valuable in my store, and I'll be in this situation again next month.
Those two things are the only... That's the only valuable thing you have in the store? What about the rest of this? Not to mention, we already said we're going to purchase parts from you to be able to start with the repairs on our ship. So there's that source.
No, I was going to make... you weren't purchasing it. I was going to cut even. That was the deal. I was going to cut even. That wasn't a purchase. That was a cut even.
6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. No matter how we do this, we are making sure you are getting your supplies. We're getting the things that we need. This is a transaction. Right?
And surely not all your product has been shipped off by these gangers. They may still have some.
Will you look?
Yeah? I mean,
Okay. Thank you.
You can bring in whatever we find.
Thank you.
Yeah. Whatever they have, I'm going to let my much smarter friend here look at it first. And anything that we may need, we take. You get everything else they have. Start a second store. Sell secondhand gang shit. That was a joke. Don't start a second store. You're a terrible businessman.
You can always charge him for a ride off this show.
We're not going to charge him for a ride off the ship. If he's, I mean, we're not taxing. He would be going where we're going. Sure, that's an option.
They're
But
getting flat on their log.
we're already 500 credits deep in this one, so
Well, how about we go solve the problem? I'm sure he's not the only businessman that's being shaken down by them. See what we can do to help. I'll make things easier on him and some of the other business people. And maybe they too will kick in a reward.
Wallace, do you have any aspirin here?
Should I just throw that in as well?
I'll turn and look at Clint and say, I'm going to go stand outside.
All right, so let's do this, Wallace. You can pack up your shop,
You
you
to
can
say.
leave, or we can help you try to settle this problem for good. It sounds like my friends would really like, for the purposes of clearing out these gangers that would outnumber us, the power armor helmet. We'll purchase the rest of the parts at cost, or whatever profit you need to at least get through a month or two. And then if we complete it, we'll kind of see where everything lands after that.
So you're going to pay for the landing gear?
Yes, that's what they were saying before. They're just saying that the power armor, especially,
Oh,
the helmet, is going to help us.
I was gonna call it even on everything. That was the agreement.
I don't know. I
but-
just didn't like
yeah.
the way you're being treated, so I had to stop it.
Oh.
All of this is extra.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Do you want to make another go of it on the station with less gangbangers in your way, or do you want off?
I think that's a decision I should make to myself alone and not immediately just in a short conversation with you. So,
Okay, well, you know
but you can purchase the power. You can purchase the landing gear if you'd like. So,
I let them handle that.
so
You're
the
more than
wealth
welcome to
cost for the
serve the
landing
ship.
gear will be wealth cost for landing gear will be the landing gear parts will be wealth call roll at a -4. Well, plus, yeah, that's about right. 5,000 credits.
well, we could just not ever land on a landing pad again.
I mean, the fucked up thing is we have a free source of it if we just go with the dude at the bulk supply. But we're like trying to help this guy who's fucking guilt tripping us about a bottle of aspirin.
You can
Okay,
you
well-
can see if Spencer Tran, what is his name, Chester Tran's not going to charge you at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. Aston has a better connection for getting the gear. We don't
Yeah.
have to buy from here.
You don't have to
I
buy
just
from
didn't
here.
want my own to be treated that way.
Right, no, it made sense. Everything made sense.
We can still help him with his supply problem. We just don't have to buy from him.
You know what? Fucking.
Aston, you're outside, right? You walked out, right?
Uh-huh.
You keep talking like you're in the room.
No, I'm just pontificating, but I'm gonna
Okay.
walk back in the room.
Okay, all right.
Can you guys give me support rolls, please, on wealth?
Whatever you need.
All support rolls are doubled. So that's 2,
Nice.
3, 4, 5. Plus 5 on a 5 is a 10, and then I'll use a raise. So none of us are gonna be using our shit.
He did drop pontificating, Robin.
And then
he did.
And then I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna put the bits down. And I'm gonna say, and I want the fucking aspirin too.
Dropped his schlong on the table. And then it's an aspirin. Okay, so we got, hold on, so that's the success. So that was a 1. A 5 becomes a 1 with a -4. And then we got a +2 from Clint. And we got a, why did your wealth roll that way, Arthur? Do you not have a wealth skill on your sheet?
I do.
It did not roll.
I didn't roll a.
It didn't roll well.
If it doesn't roll that
D6?
way, it means you didn't roll a wealth die.
Wow.
You didn't roll a wild die.
I see. No, I see.
Yeah.
I grabbed it from down below. You want me to roll again?
Yeah, grab it from your character sheet because you should get a wild die with it.
Right.
There you go. Okay, so
Okay.
so that's a +2, and then you give him a +2, so that becomes a +4, and then Shaun gives him a +2, so it's a total of a +6. So he gets a +2 total, right? Instead of a
Right, so
-4, so it becomes a 7 instead of a 1.
Right, and then I'm gonna use one of our raises.
Oh, okay, and then it becomes a raise. Okay. Sweet. So you got at least a success, and then it becomes a raise. So you do not take a wealth hit. So good deal. Thank you so much from the chat for the raise. That helped you out a lot. So you do not take a hit to your wealth die. Awesome. So yeah, you bought all the parts for landing gear, and of course everything else you needed for the repairs, the immediate repairs on your ship. So.
And then I'm gonna press him.
And he slides some
getting...
aspirin.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking chew the aspirin loudly and obnoxiously.
Chew it?
I'm gonna chew it.
You chew it? Oh man, you're wincing while you're.
And then I'm just gonna look at him and say, "Okay, now are you getting off the planet, or are we taking care of your problem?"
He says, "Are you taking care of my problem?" I'm staying on the planet if my problem is taken care of.
Are we taking care of his problem?
Well, at this point, I think it's fair to say, what are we getting out of it? Because he has enough money to be safe for a little while, enough money to leave.
Getting a drone and a powered armor helmet. Oh my god,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought that he was saying he wasn't doing that. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Like powered armor costs like $1 million. A whole suit of it. It's like.
But we already got like $900,000 of it on there. We need that extra.
Yeah. Well, okay.
No, I'm taking care of the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, then I'm gonna need to get something off of the
take it
ship.
down others.
Yeah. But this eliminates the possibility of someone like it also allows you to go into out of atmosphere in it. It means you can now, like, someone can shoot you with a sniper rifle and can't headshot you. Someone can't hit you with a thermal pistol and melt your face off while you're in powered armor. You know, it means that when you get in the armor bot, you're completely safe. Does that make sense for the most part? Yeah.
All right, Wallace. We need all.
Although
of
I would have
details.
asked for more missiles instead of the drone. But
Yeah, but you didn't see the way Arthur's face lit up when he seen the drone. It's like a kid in a candy store. You can't say no to him. All right, Wallace. Give us the details. Where do we need to go? Who do we need to fix?
he says, okay, fine. Thank you so much for agreeing to help me. I know it's quite a big ask. I know that you're sticking your life out there and risking it for me. But you're probably saving a lot of other people too. I just want to say that up front. These people are bad people. And then we'll end the game there. So, and he'll give you the details at the beginning of the next game. So,
I sort of impress upon these guys, like while we're doing our little strategy session, I'm like, we need to make sure we do this right. Because if we die, this is Devin's last chance. So it's not just us.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You are correct.
Devin's last chance. I love it.
Are we going to put Devin in an orphanage after this, or is he tagging along with us?
We're going to upload him to the
Clone.
sky.
The what in the sky?
No, it was like basically he's on a hard drive right now, where he's on my computer. You can leave it on the ship. But if we all die, nobody's coming back for him. Nobody's going to know what the hell's on the computer.
I meant
after we get on the body.
Right, we get him a new body. Are we going to find him a foster home, or?
We're going to put a hand on each of his shoulders and be like, are you ready to be a dad?
We'll see what he wants to do. This is his decision.
He's 11. He doesn't get to make a decision.
Who knows? Maybe his mom's out there.
Can we just get them bunk beds?
Got a little brother.
You guys are making this awkward.
I think we'll wrap it up right there. That's a perfect ending point. You guys are making this awkward. Okay, so congratulations to all the people who got subs in the chat. Thank you for sticking around with us and joining us for the sessions. We'll be back next week, normal time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to learn more about... Oh, jeez, that was loud. If you want to learn more about Fantasy Grounds, you can join us over on the Fantasy Grounds Discord, Fantasy Grounds College Discord, and because I'm going to be over there after the game, and I'll be answering questions and that kind of stuff about the rule set. And but I'll be over there for a little bit, and so I don't think there's anything else. So I'll have to prepare a whole session because that was literally just going to be like that was going to be a blurb to like set the tone for the space station.
You're welcome.
The blades thing, that was just going to be like I'm going to set the tone for like, and you guys are like, oh, we're not having any of this.
You got the heroic hindrance there, so...
Yeah, I forgot you had the heroic hindrance, so that's what I get for forgetting that. So, the rest of my players are such fucking mercenaries, I forgot I could pull that shit. So, but I can't no more, damn it. So...
Yep, nope, I had to wait my way in there.
Yep, but, so I'm glad I did it at the end of the session.
Kids.
What, Shaun?
Apparently this guy recruits kids to be blades. So
yeah, martial arts people. Yeah.
Oh, so that's where we can put your new kid.
Yeah, because if you want him to raise up to beat up people for a living, sure. Like be an enforcer, sure.
We just be like, hey, Devin, welcome back. Hey, go be an assassin.
Pretty much.
It's time to go earn your keep.
I'm sitting here thinking we're gonna have to kill the mayor now. We're gonna have to take down the entire fucking syndicate.
Hey, you
We're
guys
gonna
have
own
talked
this
about in the
police
past,
station.
like, we're going to take down mega corporations. You guys could take down the leadership of the ship. You guys can do that. You guys can set attainable goals. So that's
There we go.
attainable.
We could take out the mayor, and then we can become the mayors.
We have like
the
this
Shiv.
ridiculous like Arya Stark space hit list. This is getting ridiculous.
My hit list is tiny.
Did our game just now
Draco
get
tech.
ridiculous? I mean, really? We've had space zombies. We've had
Oh yeah.
like little tiny planets. Sorry, little tiny suns that exploded. I don't know. All kinds of stuff. So, anyways,
And the cyber wolves.
yeah, cyber wolves just appearing in space on ships. Yeah. It's been weird. Anyways, so we're going to call it a night here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Be back next week, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, you can catch Cliff over at his channel, Quest and Cliffhangers, on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yes.
And you can also find Matt over to his illustrations and stuff over at Fine Art America. Also, he does commissions. And is Robin still here? I have a plug for her. There, you can buy Robin's stuff at Remendes. You can buy her stuff over at DM's Guild. She makes wonderful stuff, mostly for Fantasy Grounds. So, but all right, so we're gonna sign off. Bye. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Good night.